Hi, welcome back to Acre Homestead. We're gonna spend the morning in the kitchen today making 5 different recipes. I was gonna make dinner this morning. I'm gonna make teriyaki chicken and Hawaiian mac salad. So I just went downstairs to go grocery shopping for that. And I thought, you know what, while I'm in the kitchen, I might as well do some more prep and get tomorrow's dinner ready as well. So for tomorrow's dinner, we are gonna prep a Mexican style marinade for the grill. It's so nice out. It's in the 60s today and all weekend, so I want to be outside grilling. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna make cowboy caviar, which is a black bean and corn salad for tomorrow. And then in here, we are gonna make some cookies for the landscapers. It is their Friday today, and I thought, you know what, let's get a treat for them to enjoy on their Friday. So we're gonna start by putting 1 cup of butter in our mixer. And you know what I should do before I even start this? I need to get some water on to boil so that we can have the water starting to boil so we can cook our noodles for our macaroni salad. If you're interested in any of these recipes, I can link them down below. They are all pretty fabulous. They're all ones that I've made before and tried and true. So I just have my Dutch oven out, and I'm gonna fill it with some water so we can get our macaroni or our water to boil for our macaroni salad. I have the door open with the window open because it is so gorgeous out there. That's one of the reasons I wanted to get in the kitchen today and just get as much meal prep as I can now, so that this weekend I can enjoy being outside and I don't need to worry about being inside. So to the 1 cup of butter we have in our mixer, I'm gonna add 1.5 cups of white sugar. This snickerdoodle recipe is a chewy snickerdoodle, and they are so delicious. So we're gonna get this cream together. My chickens are laying again, and I'm getting these absolutely beautiful eggs, which I'm grateful for. And we are gonna get 2 eggs in this cookie dough recipe. So I'm just gonna turn it on, and I'm gonna put 1 egg in at a time. To that, we're gonna add some vanilla, which I am out of. I make all my own homemade vanilla. It is the easiest thing to make. It is just vanilla beans and your alcohol of choice that is 80 proof or above. I like a spiced rum because it just adds a little extra depth of flavor. I always have this going to 1/2 gallon of your alcohol of choice. I usually put about 25 vanilla beans or so. So we got that filled up. If you are interested where I get my vanilla beans, I just get them on Amazon. I can link them down below. When you are making your own vanilla, you can use grade B vanilla beans, which are a little bit cheaper than grade A because they are dried out a little bit more, and you're gonna reconstitute them in your liquid of choice. So you don't really need to spend the really high premium for grade A vanilla beans. Those are usually ones you would use when you're gonna make like a really nice panna cotta or truffle or something like that. So now we've got our mixture here. Turn that off, and I'm gonna scrape the sides 1 time. Mix that once. Now we're gonna add our dry ingredients, which for this recipe, it is 2 3/4 cups of just all-purpose flour. To that flour, I'm gonna add 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and 1.5 teaspoons of cream of tartar. The cream of tartar is what's gonna give you that zingy flavor that you think of when you think of snickerdoodles. And I'm just gonna mix those dry ingredients in together on top. And now we're gonna add our salt. And that is our snickerdoodle dough. I do want these cookies to chill a little bit before we bake them, and I've just come to the realization that if I make the cookies into cookie balls first. I don't have to chill them as long. Instead of just putting the entire bowl of dough into the refrigerator. If you want to chew your cookies, chilling them is what is going to help get you that chewy cookie. So we've got our piece of parchment paper on our cookie sheet. And I am going to use a cookie scoop because it's my favorite way to make cookies. And I'm just going to scoop out dough balls. This was so easy. It didn't even take us 5 minutes to pull together this cookie dough. If you have this recipe makes a lot, so if you have a bigger mixer, I would recommend doubling the recipe and then freezing half the cookie dough in the ball shape, and then you have homemade cookies whenever you want. Because this recipe makes so many cookies, I'm gonna bake enough for each of the landscapers to have 2 cookies today, and then I'll freeze the rest. And then next week, I will be able to pull them out and I'll be able to bake some up for the landscapers next week, and I won't have to make any cookie dough. That one was a little bit. I'm gonna pop these in the fridge for probably about 20 minutes or so, and then we'll roll them in the cinnamon sugar. So I can get all of these dishes in the dishwasher because I am not gonna need them again. Now that I have the cookies in the refrigerator, I want to get going on making the 2 different marinades we're going to make today. And I'm going to go ahead and marinate them in these Pirate's glass dishes. So we've got a couple more things I need to get out. We're going to do the teriyaki chicken in here, and we're going to do the chicken breasts in here. And I figured I could just make them both up at the exact same time. For the teriyaki marinade, we're going to make the teriyaki sauce from scratch, and it's so easy to throw together. So I've got some brown sugar, soy sauce. I'm going to let the soy sauce kind of melt the brown sugar a little bit, or dissolve it. We've got some avocado oil or olive oil, vegetable oil, whatever kind of oil you like to use. I'm going to set that there because we'll use that again. This is Korean red pepper flakes. This stuff is so good. It has just a teeny bit of heat, but a lot of sweetness for a pepper. This is optional in your teriyaki sauce, but I would highly recommend it. I can link this down below. I get this on Amazon. Then we're going to add some ginger powder. If you have fresh ginger, you could certainly use fresh ginger, but today we're just going to use powder. Some sesame oil. I love the nuttiness of sesame oil. In my freezer, I have these garlic pucks that are homegrown garlic that I minced. I put in these puck shapes and I froze. So I'm just going to plop those in here. I'm going to put 2 in there and let that just thaw. We're going to put 1 in here for the other marinade. If you don't have fresh garlic, you could use minced garlic or you could use dried garlic. I'm going to mix this up together. It's just going to take a couple minutes for that garlic to dissolve. So while the garlic is dissolving in here, we'll get going on this marinade. I just had this thought. I am loving my pre-minced ginger in my freezer, and I really like fresh ginger. I just don't like going through the effort of peeling it and mincing it every time. I think next time I buy a bunch of ginger, I'm going to mince a bunch of it just like I did this, pop them in the freezer so that I can pull them out whenever I want. And that would just be really easy. So for our Mexican style inspired marinade. I have, this is just some salsa verde that we made from the tomatillos and onions and garlic from last year's garden. So I put about a half a jar in there. And to make it into a marinade, I need to add a little bit of oil. So again, open up whatever kind of salsa verde you want. Put in some oil of your choice. We're gonna put this in here. And then I did put one of those pucks of garlic in here. And that is going to be our marinade for our Mexican inspired chicken. So easy, could not have been easier. I think I am though gonna add some salt because the chicken will need to be seasoned, and then we will add just some pepper. I'm gonna mix this up, the oil and the salsa verde. I'm a little disappointed. I did not realize that the chicken breast package that I took out of the freezer to thaw for our salsa verde chicken only had one chicken breast in it. So I'm going to be, thankfully this dinner is for tomorrow, I am going to get this one chicken breast marinating, and I am cutting this chicken breast in half. I have found from my little grilling experience that it is a lot easier to grill a chicken breast that's cut in half and have it not overcook than trying to cook an entire huge chicken breast. So thankfully that is going to be for tomorrow. So when I'm done here, I will go run downstairs and grab out of the freezer another package of chicken breast so that that can be added to that. But for our teriyaki chicken, I'm going to use chicken thighs. And I am going to go through the effort of taking a minute here and just removing any of the excess fat, because I cook the chicken thighs on the grill at a pretty high heat that it doesn't really have time for the fat to render out, and Josh and I aren't big fans of that texture. So as I get my chicken thighs cleaned up here, I'm just going to put them in the marinade, and then tonight I will grill these on the grill for a delicious dinner. And the side for this is going to be our Hawaiian mac salad that we're going to make here in just a minute. It looks like my water is just about boiling, which will be perfect timing, because when I'm done with this, I'll be able to wash my hands real good, and then we can get our macaroni noodles in the pot of water to boil and get that cooking for us. So this is kind of a Hawaiian style dinner tonight. Josh and I went on our first date to a Hawaiian restaurant. We actually were going to a Thai restaurant, but the wait was 2 hours. So we went to my favorite Hawaiian restaurant in Portland. That's where we had our first date. And macaroni salad is a staple. And they make, the restaurant that we had our first date at is called NoHo's in Portland. And they have the best macaroni salad out of any of the Hawaiian restaurants I have been to in Portland, but I haven't been to them all. There's quite a few Hawaiian restaurants in Portland. All right, that is already looking so good. So let me get this all cleaned up. The garlic is already starting to thaw, which is great. It doesn't take long for that garlic to thaw. Let me get this all cleaned up, hands washed, and then we'll be back. So throughout the day, I will just flip these chicken thighs maybe once or twice to make sure that the whole thing is nice and coated in the marinade. Same with these the chicken breast I probably won't do that because these are going to sit overnight, and I'll cook these up tomorrow. I give them a little turn. I'm going to get some of that salsa verde on the top of them. Our water is boiling for our macaroni salad, so I want to get our pasta in there. And this is a 2-pound bag of pasta. We only need 1 pound. This is actually 1.5 pounds of pasta, so we need 2/3 of this bag. These are the large macaroni noodles. These are my favorite macaroni noodles to use for Hawaiian mac salad. And we need to cook these according to the directions, which it says 7 minutes. So I do want to get, before this pasta is done, I need to get some salt in this water to season our pasta. So while this is cooking, we are gonna prep the ingredients that we need to go into our mac salad, because you actually wanna put those onto the noodles while they're hot. So we have 7 minutes to get going on the yumminess that goes inside this salad. We need quite a few different veggies for our cowboy caviar, along with the veggies for our macaroni salad. So I went ahead and just got everything washed up at one time, and we'll get everything chopped up. But first I will chop up the things for the macaroni salad so that as soon as that pasta's done, we can add the carrots and onions to the hot pasta. I need a knife, and because we have quite a bit of chopping, I'm gonna go ahead and get it nice and sharp. I'm trying to get back into the habit of sharpening my knife every time I use it so that I have a nice knife and chopping is more enjoyable. First thing we need to do though, is actually we don't need that knife. We need to peel 3 carrots. This is a really, really skinny carrot, so I think I'm gonna get one more out. Got my compost bowl. We're gonna just put these in here. You can save this, put it in your freezer and use it to make broth next time you need to make broth, but I have enough in the freezer. I don't need to do that today. Same with these onion peels. You can save these and put these in your broth. For Hawaiian mac salad, you don't chop up your veggies, you grate them, and it lends to that really creamy, soft texture. You don't want a bunch of crunchy stuff in your Hawaiian mac salad like you would in more of a traditional American style barbecue salad, where you would put chopped onions, celery, and whatever other vegetables you like to add into your macaroni salad. So I'm only gonna grate half of this onion for the macaroni salad, and that will be enough. You don't need a ton of it. You can leave this out if you want to, but Josh and I love the flavor of onion, so we're not gonna leave it out. That is a strong onion. I have noticed these onions that I purchased from the local farmer back in August. These are still the same onions that we've been eating. I bought 160 pounds, I think. They have gotten more potent and more potent the longer they've sat down in the food storage room. And woo, I should have grated that last, because now it's just sitting there. So now we're gonna grate our carrot as well. The timer is about to go off, and I'm still grating those carrots. So I wanna give one of these a taste test. I think that's done, I can already tell. Yeah, it's done. Ooh, that's still really hot. Okay. So you want to work with this hot because we need to now basically season our pasta noodles. And Hawaiian mac salad is not one that you want any al dente-ness to your noodles. You don't want them mushy, but you definitely want them soft. So now we're going to take our noodles and put it into our bowl. So we're going to add our onions, our carrot. You know, I probably didn't need to shred that 3rd carrot, or that 4th carrot, but a little extra carrot is probably okay. Now we're gonna add some pepper, some salt, the secret ingredient, 2 teaspoons of sugar, some milk. This is to thin the dressing out a little bit. 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. And then a whole lot of mayonnaise. You can use whatever kind of mayonnaise is your favorite. You could make homemade mayonnaise or whatever brand is your favorite. I'm gonna get this in here, get it stirred up, and then we're gonna get this in the refrigerator chilled. You want to eat this cold, not room temperature or warm. And so it is best if you can make this a few hours before you're gonna eat it. You can make it up to a day or two before you're gonna eat it if you're gonna bring it to a potluck or you're gonna have a barbecue at your house or whatever it might be. So this is one of those recipes that's pretty awesome for that, and that you can make it ahead. And it does get better if it sits for a few hours or overnight. So we're gonna get this all stirred up. The combination of the vinegar, the sugar, the creaminess of the mayonnaise is just so good. And then you get a little bit of bite of onion, not too much onion, a little texture from the carrot, but not too much, the softness of the pasta, and it is just so good. Now, this looks a little bit wet to me. Don't worry about that. As it sits, the pasta is gonna absorb some of that liquid. And when you go to serve it, you may even need to add a little bit more milk or mayonnaise to thin it out a little bit, because this is only going to kind of marinate in that dressing that we made, and you can just make the dressing right in the bowl of the pasta. So that was so easy. That took just a couple minutes. The time it took us to boil that pasta, we were able to get the filling all done, and now this can go in the refrigerator. I think what I'm gonna do next is we're gonna bake our cookies. So those can be baking while we chop the veggies for the cowboy caviar salad. I'm so excited for this. This is so, so good. If you've never had Hawaiian mac salad, it's definitely different than your traditional macaroni salad, and it's definitely worth a try. We're gonna get the next thing done on our cookies. We need to still make some cinnamon sugar because I didn't make any of that yet. I don't have any pre-made in my cupboard down below. So those are our cookies. Oh, I need to preheat the oven. For these cookies, let's see, off, bake. We need to bake them at 350 degrees. For the cinnamon sugar, I think I'm gonna make a little extra than I need for today, just so I have that made up. So next time I need cinnamon sugar, I don't have to make it. And I have seen in the store that you can buy cinnamon sugar, and my goodness, was it expensive. So no need to spend a premium for someone making cinnamon sugar for you. All it is literally cinnamon and sugar. So I put about 1.5 cups of sugar in here, and I just did 2 heaping teaspoons or tablespoons of cinnamon. And the beauty of when you make it at home is you can decide how much cinnamon you want in it. I tend to like it a little bit stronger, just so that that flavor really comes through. And one thing that I've learned that I didn't know is that a cinnamon allergy is super common, just from hearing from you all in the comments. And if you are allergic to cinnamon, you could certainly still make snickerdoodles, and you could use a different spice if you wanted, or you could just roll them in sugar and just leave the cinnamon out altogether. But I had no idea how common a cinnamon allergy is until I heard from you all in the comments. All right, this looks perfect. I do like a little bit darker of a cinnamon sugar. And this is way more than we're gonna need for today, so the next couple times I need cinnamon sugar, I will already have it made. I am not going to bake all these cookies. Like I said, I'm gonna put half of them in the freezer, but I am going to go ahead and roll all of them in this cinnamon sugar mixture so that when I go to bake the frozen ones, then they are already ready to go. I don't have to worry about putting the cinnamon sugar on them at that point. Here's my extra cinnamon sugar. How pretty is that? Easy peasy. Going in the cupboard, so next time we eat it, we have it. I'm gonna get half of these cookies put into this silicone bag for the freezer. If I just lay them one layer like this in the freezer, I don't need to pre-freeze them or anything like that. perfect timing. That is my oven preheated. So we're gonna get these in the oven. I'm gonna push them down just a little bit to help them spread. I'm gonna get these in the freezer. While that's baking, let's see if we can get our cowboy caviar done. Our cowboy caviar has a dressing that we need to make for it. I'm gonna make that first in the bowl that we're going to make our cowboy caviar in, so that I can mix the dressing in on the bottom, put all the other goodies on top, and then stir it together, and then I'm not messing up as many dishes. I do need honey for it, and I am out of honey upstairs in the kitchen. I buy my honey in bulk. So I just went downstairs to refill a jar. So I might as well refill it while I'm at it. Let me wash the side of that. So this is gonna go back downstairs in the food storage room, but I want it to go downstairs clean. This is one of the things I had to go shopping for this morning down there. And now we have a nice fresh jar of honey up here for our culinary shenanigans. For our dressing, we're gonna start out with some honey in the bottom. Next, we're gonna add the juice of 3 lemons. If I happen to have fresh today, fresh is gonna give you the best flavor, but I don't always have fresh, and when I don't, I use bottled. But today, we get to use fresh. You could use lime juice too if you want, but I prefer lemon juice because it's a little bit on the sweeter side. And that's why I use lemon juice. So we're gonna get these juiced in here. There is nothing like the smell of fresh citrus. It is divine. The awesome thing about this cowboy caviar salad is you can make it ahead of time, just like you can make the macaroni salad ahead of time, and it gets even better if it sits for one day because the flavors just meld together wonderfully. So we've got our juice of our 3 lemons in here. And then we need to add some oil. And I'm gonna add a 1/4 cup of oil to this. Again, whatever kind of oil you like. I just got this oil dispenser and I think it's so pretty and I absolutely love it. And it's making me enjoy being in the kitchen just that much more because I'm getting joy out of looking at it. It's kind of funny how something so simple can mean so much. I'm gonna get this mixed up just a little bit. I probably should have, well no, never mind. I was gonna say I probably should have melted that honey, but I think it's dissolving just fine in here. It already smells so good with just those 3 simple ingredients. Now we're gonna add some pepper. That's our timer for our cookies. Cookies are one of those things that you really have to just pay attention to when you're baking. There's so many factors that are going to determine when they're done or not. The color of your cookie sheet, your oven might run hot or cold, how cold or warm the ingredients went into the oven. So if you see a time on a cookie recipe, just know, even from cooking those same cookies one time to the next, might take a little bit different time in the oven actually baking. So these are done now. They're actually a little underdone, and I'm gonna let them finish baking on this cookie sheet. To finish off the dressing, we're gonna add a little bit of oregano, that's homegrown oregano, along with some smoked paprika, red chili flakes to help balance the sweetness, and some cumin. And that right there is our dressing. Salt, I almost forgot salt. I do want to give this a taste test before we call it good while I still have all the ingredients out. Ooh, that is so good. The honey, the lemon, a little bit of that smoked paprika, absolutely delicious. So now I'm going to get all these spices away because we don't need these at all for anything else today. So all of these beautiful ingredients have already been pre-washed. I'm gonna leave the seeds and ribs in one half of this jalapeno. The other half, I removed it to reduce a little bit of the heatness, but I do want some heat from this jalapeno. I'm gonna chop this really itty bitty. It's best to use a bench scraper to scrape up your goodies instead of using the edge of your knife. That'll keep your knife sharper longer. I'm gonna use the greens and the whites of the green onions. Our board is getting less and less full.
The best thing that I did for myself on this day was prepping all this food. It allowed me to not have to worry about cooking basically all weekend. We had some of this cowboy caviar salad with tortillas, and we had some of it just plain. We had some with chips. There was enough different ways that we could kind of serve it that it didn't get boring over the weekend. And the macaroni salad with the grilled teriyaki chicken was absolutely delicious, and we just had some fresh veggies on the side on the days that we ate that. It was so nice not having to worry about cooking all weekend.
I don't think there's anything that has made me want summer more than this salad right here, right now. I just added one package of frozen corn. That's the corn we preserved last year. I only have 2 bags of that left in the freezer. I did 92 ears of corn. This stuff is incredible. It's worth every minute of effort I put into preserving that because the flavor is so delicious. That's why I do what I do. That's why I try to grow food. That's why I try to source from local farmers whenever possible, because the quality is just so good. And I love to eat, and I love to eat good food. So what I'm gonna do here, this is homegrown, home canned black beans. I'm gonna drain and rinse this can of black beans and get this into the salad. These black beans are probably one of the things I'm the most proud of that I've ever grown. Just the fact that I was able to grow black beans and then can them so they will be convenient is just something that I am really proud of. We're gonna get these black beans in here. There is one more ingredient, which is avocado. My avocado happens to be not quite ripe yet. Because there is the vinaigrette dressing in here, you can put the avocado in advance and it does not turn brown. But because mine is not ripe, I'm just gonna let that sit on the counter, and then hopefully by tomorrow it'll be nice and ripe. This salad, just like a lot of things that I cook, you can adapt this recipe for your family's liking. If you don't like bell peppers, leave them out altogether, and you could add extra tomato or just leave them out. If you prefer pinto beans over black beans, by all means add pinto beans to this. If you don't like cilantro, because I know a lot of you don't like cilantro, you could substitute fresh parsley or just leave it out altogether. If you don't like onion, leave out the onion. Or if you only have, say, you have all the ingredients to make this except you have a white onion instead of a red onion, use a white onion. I like to use the red onion because it just adds such a beautiful color, because we've got our purple, our red tomato, our red pepper, our green cilantro, green onions, and our yellow corn. This is so good. You can eat this by the spoonful, is what I like to do. You can eat it with chips. You can top it with some sour cream. You can eat it however you want. So what I'll probably do is put some of this in a bowl. I'll grill the chicken, and then I will cut up the chicken, and I will put the chicken right on top. So I'm gonna give this a taste test. This does taste better when it sits for a while too, but I want to just make sure we've got our pepper and salt seasonings on point. It's been way too long since I've made this, So good. The lemon with the honey. You might think the honey seems weird in this, but it is so, so good. So into the fridge this goes. We basically have dinner done for tomorrow. We've got our chicken marinade and all I have to do is grill it. We've got our side. Fantastic. I do have a mess I need to clean up though, right behind you. I did not follow my own rule where I try to unload the dishwasher before I get started. So dishes just kind of piled up here. So I'm going to take a second to go ahead and put all these ingredients away and all these dishes away.
So we not only prepped all the food, but I also was able to get the kitchen cleaned up, which doesn't always happen after a day of cooking or a morning of cooking. This was just in the morning, and it just felt really good going into the weekend with food prepped and with a clean kitchen.
I have my meat marinade here, and you know what I just realized I forgot? I forgot to add garlic. I was gonna get one of those frozen garlic pucks out and put it in my cowboy caviar. So I am gonna do that. I won't forget to do that. I'm gonna get that flipped. I'm gonna get this flipped. And my garlic, that puck is completely thawed now, so I can kind of mix that garlic puck in with the rest of the marinade. And then I still need to get out one more package of chicken breast so that we have more than just this chicken that I can cook tomorrow so we can have some leftovers. All right, since I flipped them once, I am not gonna probably flip them again. The next time these make it out of the refrigerator, they will go straight onto the grill. So that is pretty exciting that we have our teriyaki chicken for dinner tonight, our salsa verde chicken for dinner tomorrow. We have our macaroni salad for tonight, plus a lot of leftovers. And we have our cowboy caviar for tomorrow, plus leftovers. This is gonna be enough food to get us through the weekend, and I'm not gonna have to cook, which I am so looking forward to. Plus we got our snickerdoodles that I'm gonna go bring out to the guys right now. And I am gonna spend the rest of the afternoon outside because it is glorious. And I still have some cookies in the freezer, so next week when they're here, I can just pull those snickerdoodles out of the freezer, and I can bake those up. I am going to cook both of the marinated chicken on the grill, and I will show you what that looks like. And it is going to be so delicious to have a beautiful grilled dinner for this whole weekend. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm loving having that grill. I can't believe it took Josh and I 7 years to finally get one, and now that I have it, I love it, and I want to try to use it as much as I can this summer because there's something about that grill flavor that you just can't get from your stove, crock pot, or Instapot, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm so grateful the sun is out and that it's sunny. It's going to be sunny all weekend. I need that vitamin D. I'm going to get all this food back in the refrigerator, and then I'm going to go spend time outside, and I'm going to go plant some seedlings. I need to plant basil, some more cabbage, all the different colors of zinnias, which I'm really looking forward to having probably one entire raised bed out there full of zinnias. So that's really awesome. So I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. I don't take that for granted. Time is so precious, and I'm just grateful that you're here along the journey. I hope these recipes inspired you. I will leave a link to the recipes down below where you can find them. And I just can't wait to see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, friend, I can put a couple of my videos here you can go enjoy between now and my next upload. I hope you are having a fantastic day. I hope you're super excited for spring just as much as I am, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.